I just wrapped up the most epic 10-day vacation ever. Sandy beaches, tropical drinks, and absolutely no worries. While I was chilling, my nosy HOA president neighbor was losing her mind, yelling at my garage door, summoning the police, and blowing cash on 3 locksmiths. All because her car was stuck inside my garage. She had zero clue I was tuned in to every freakout via my phone app from 3,000 miles away. It was premium entertainment, way better than Netflix. Anyone else deal with a parking spot thief? Drop your stories in the comments, including where you're tuning in from. Extra credit if it involved a power-hungry HOA. This isn't just a tale of a swiped spot, it's about arrogance, privilege, and what goes down when the wrong person thinks they own the block. Strap in. Let me break it down from the start. I'm Connor Walsh, a home-based computer repair guy. I fix laptops and set up networks for small businesses, nothing glamorous. 2 years ago, I snagged a house in Maplewood Heights, a quiet suburb where folks supposedly keep to themselves. It came with a 2-car garage, but with just one ride, I turned the extra bay into storage and my workshop. Things were chill until last Monday morning when I heard a weird rumble from the garage. I figured it was a critter, but nope, there sat a silver Honda Civic, parked like it belonged. Clean, fairly new, with those stick-figure family stickers on the back. I stared for a full minute, wondering if I was hallucinating. But it was real, a stranger's car in my space, no clue how it got there. First move, track down the owner. I scanned the street. Most neighbors were at work, but an older lady across the way was watering her plants. I'd seen her before. She lived with her daughter, rumored to be a HOA hotshot. That daughter. Deborah Langston, my crash course in entitlement. I knocked, and after a bit, this late-30s woman answered in faded yoga pants, a rumpled tee, and bedhead. Her face screamed annoyance, like my existence offended her. Before I could speak, she crossed her arms and scanned me judgmentally. "Hi," I said politely. "I'm Connor from across the street. I think your car's in my garage by mistake." She didn't flinch. Instead, she stepped onto the porch, shutting the door like prepping for war. "Oh, honey," she drawled condescendingly. "I'm HOA president. I know what I can do and where I can park." Like she was royalty. I stayed calm. "It's my garage, my property." She laughed outright, like I'd cracked a joke. "Show me paperwork saying I can't use an used community space," she said, waving an old garage remote like a prize. "Until then, I'm parking there." Discussion over. That remote wasn't mine. I had both on my counter. She'd snagged one from the previous owner, basically trespassing with stolen gear. Not just entitled, illegal. Then a mid-40s guy ambled over from next door. Kind eyes, but weary, like he'd battled too long. "Morning, Connor," he said, shaking hands. "Walter Griggs, retired vet. Sorry for the chaos." He eyed Deborah, who bristled. "Walter but out," she snapped. But he smiled sadly. "Last year, she forced me to demolish my bird fountain, 20 years perfecting it, gone in a week for not meeting standards." Deborah flushed. "It was an eyesore, Walter." Turning to me, "Look, Connor, I'll park there until you learn to share. Maybe it'll teach social responsibility." She stormed inside, slamming the door. Walter and I stood stunned. "She's been like this since her divorce 6 months back," he whispered. "Lost her fancy house, moved in with mom. Taking it out on everyone." I thanked him and headed home, wheels turning. This wasn't a mix-up. She was bullying me via her HOA role, betting I'd fold. Time to flip the script. Next morning, her Honda was still there, plus a McDonald's cup and napkins on my bench. Audacious. Worse, an HOA-wide email blast titled "Urgent, Neighborhoods Parking, Safety Issue." It painted me as antisocial and risky, hoarding community resources, with my aggression endangering families. All lies, laced with fake legalese to intimidate. I printed it, taped it to my garage, community education exhibit, HOA President's Gaslighting Masterclass. But I had bigger plans. While she spread venom, I researched smart garage systems. My tech know-how. Crowd filmed, I beamed footage on patio TV. Silence as all saw her break-in, trash, party, speeches. Community property. Murmurs. Party in his garage? Martha faltered. Walter. Beautiful Connor. She's bullied us, my fountain gone. Stories flooded, gnomes fined, crooked parking, cheerful fence denied. Cop. Textbook trespassing, his right to lock. Walter revealed, board ousted her yesterday, abuse of power. Deborah's face. Priceless. Lost everything. 2 days later, Walter knocked. Deborah called Channel 7, high-tech harassment. I prepped evidence, footage, emails, statements, ouster docs. Crew arrived, Deborah primped, spun victim tale, trapped my car, cyberbullying. Reporter Jessica. Your garage. Deborah stumbled, technically his, but HOA oversight. Interview crumbled, admitted stolen remote, no permission, party as meeting. I shared footage, Jessica's eyes widened. Neighbors piled on stories. Walter, ousted unanimously. Deborah fled. Lies. Suing. Story aired, HOA president abuses power, locked out. Viral hit. Her insurer investigated, suspended indefinitely. Neighborhood peace. Walter president, axed fines/harassment. Garden restored, gnomes back, chats resumed. Deborah's last play, U-Haul move out during my barbecue bash, 43 attendees, food, music. Martha apologized, started neighbor kindness. Ex-hubby's text, thanks, her pattern, wake-up call? Garage became community workshop, tools, classes, kids repairs. 6 months on, HOA award for harmony. Plaque hangs where her posters did. Best Vaki. Justice served smartly. Bullies lose to brains. Share your HOA horrors. Standing up protects all. More wild tales ahead. Helped. Eyed upgrades. Found a top-tier remote app-controlled lock with timers. Ideal for letting a trespasser dig their hole. Ordered next-day delivery. Dove into manuals. This was about schooling a bully. Walter stopped by as I unpacked. I spilled the plan. His face lit. Lock her car in? Genius. She's terrorized us for months. Fines for everything. He mentioned Martha Dean, Deborah's gossip-spreading realtor pal, 3 doors down. They fostered fear, no hedge trimming without approval. Install took a day. By evening, it mimicked the old setup. Programmed, normal for 7 days, then lockdown till my override. Trap set. Deborah rolled in at 6 p.m., stashing boxes, a chair, even a cooler, like settling in. At 7, she toured with friends. So much better. Connor should thank me. One hesitated. But isn't this his garage? Deborah. Community property, dear. Sharing lesson. That night, Cams caught her rearranging tools, oblivious. With the trap armed, Phase 2. Operation Karma. I booked Maui, 10 days of luxury, suite, spa, snorkeling. Costly, but worth the show. Set timer for day 7. Psyops. Make her think she'd crushed me. Sent a groveling email. You've won. I'm reflecting on my selfishness during my trip. Use the garage to demonstrate proper management. Her reply, forwarded to all with proper leadership works. She and Martha high-fived on her porch. Next day, I surrendered access, fake remotes in an envelope, shoulders slumped. Teach me community ways. She beamed. Some need guidance. That night, she hosted a community improvement bash in my garage. 15 neighbors, wine, cookies. Cams caught speeches on resources. A guest worried, what if he objects? Deborah, I'm president with docs. She rearranged everything. Desk, cabinet, posters. Martha snapped, documentation, pics. Walter looked uneasy as she plotted more rules. Departure morning, I loaded up dramatically sad for her view. She waved smugly. Plane up, I checked Cams, her in at 8 a.m., claiming space. Red light ticked down. First 6 days. Paradise. Beaches, tours, resort bliss. But Cams were gold. Deborah turned it into HOA HQ. Coffee maker, meetings, fridge. Day 3. Standards workshop on lawns/mailboxes. Attendees squirmed. Day 5. Her stuff everywhere. Photos, gear, clothes. Day 6. Expansion plans with Martha. Day 7. Balcony breakfast. 6 a.m. Hawaii, 9 a.m. home. Deborah arrived loaded. Folders, poster, plant. Button press. Nothing. Confusion, retries, manual pull, zip. My lock held firm. Frantic calls. Martha arrived, futile tries. Locksmith 1, need owner's okay. Left. 2, same. 3, premium fees, no dice. I pool lounged, watching them pound the door. Evening cruise, she paced sleepless. Days 8-10, escalation. Police. His property. Officials, trespassing basics. Crowd grew. Cams captured panic. Flight home, I dawdled. Groceries, wash, watching her pace. Arrived 7 p.m. to spectacle. Deborah, locksmith debris, neighbors watching. You kidnapped my car. Illegal, she shrieked. I stayed chill. Good week. She ranted. Want it open? I asked. App ready. After compensation, lost work, fees, trauma.